Hello, this is Charting Man Dan of TheChartGuys, where we teach the little guy and girl how to utilize charts to manage their own trades and investments. What do I mean by the little guy and girl? Well, we just had two directives signed halting the implementation of a rule that requires financial advisors to act in the best interests of their client. Let that sink in a little bit. The big wigs on Wall Street can play with your retirement and hard-earned money without your best interests at heart. We currently have hundreds of members taking charge of their financial future, and we would love for you to come check out a free week with no credit card required to see if our services would be beneficial on your path to financial independence as well. What we offer, we have a separate course of over 5 hours in length on when to enter and exit positions. And in terms of what we do daily, we have nightly videos, key levels updated each morning before the bell, 2.5 hours of live daily webcam coverage in the morning and in the afternoon, and over 7 hours of educational videos. All of these links can be found in the description of this video. Come check us out. Thanks for watching. Let's get on to the technical analysis. Hello everyone, so looking at WEED, APH, ACB, EMC, OWCP, and SPRWF. And last we left off was, I believe, a week and a half ago, and we were looking for a higher low of consolidation. We had played the bounce out, we hit the top of the bounce, and we began consolidating. And we have not seen the bulls show back up since. We saw an attempt here on Thursday, and we made some bullish entries on Thursday, had our stop losses in place, was stopped out with a small loss because that showed us the bulls were not seeing further momentum to the upside, and it prevented us from all this red. So a scenario in the past 3 days is where cash is king, and we are looking for a higher low to be found. If we see another push to the downside after 3 big red days in a row, I am going to be looking for a bullish entry opportunity. I'm going to be utilizing 955 support, the low of the previous dump. And if we can bounce off just above 955, that would be an ideal bottom fishing entry. If 955 breaks, the next support level we're looking at is down here at 941, and that's a key level because if that breaks, we're looking down at 895. The bulls really want to hold the low of that last dump. Otherwise, it's just continuation of this lower high, lower low pattern, and the bulls will be in full control. We're losing the middle Bollinger Band on the weekly time frame for the first time since all this bullish fun started. That's a red flag. That level is 1061, a close below it, and we'll be looking at the low of this consolidation, 851. Anything above 851 maintains the higher lows, but that is a key level that we are approaching if we lose this middle Bollinger Band. So the bears have all this momentum. The market is lacking catalysts here, and we know we have, the potential budgets and all the details of the legalization to be waiting on, but as of right now, it is very clear that we are seeing significant pullback, obviously, and we are seeing better entry opportunity. So anybody that sold on the breakout on the way up can reload with the same amount of money, 30% more shares. That is significant, and that is why I am an advocate of trading. Even if you want to be a long-term investor, we have long-term investors that are adding their shares to their position for the same amount of money by selling and rebuying lower. So looking at 955 support as the key level to hold, and we'll be watching for a quick flush in the morning and utilizing that support to try and play a bounce off of. APH is the strongest licensed producer out of the big boy group, and it is holding up very well. Our new support here is 625. If we lose 625, we're looking down at 606. So it's an important level for the bulls to hold, and we have some very clear resistances of 683, then looking at a lower high 664, 660, and now 655. So it's the same pattern as WEED, just a lot smaller ranges, a lot more tight, and not as significant a pullback the past 3 days. So we had a gap up open, a lot of volume today, gap up for selling in today's scenario, certainly not a surprise in the sector, and we're going to be watching for the bulls. If they can hold 625, they will remain the strongest LP on the daily chart. Look at how far above the middle Bollinger Band we are, where weed is losing the middle Bollinger Band. We are still well above it here. It's at 567. We're about 10% above that level. Still an extremely strong chart for APH, even though we've been consolidating for 2 weeks. ACB dumping as well. Close at the low of the day. We're looking at 225 and then down to 221. Lose 221, and we're going to see the lowest prices we've seen in 3 months. After 221 is 205. The bears are in control here as well, lower highs and lower lows. And you can just see comparing the 3 charts that we've looked at on the daily so far. 2 names, big time pullbacks, APH, nice and contained consolidation. Weekly time frame for ACB, we can see that the bulls have lost the higher low pattern. 225 was the key level to hold. We broke it down to 221, and here we are again, heading down, trying to hold 225, but looking down towards 221 if that level breaks, and then down towards the low $2 range. Bears are strong on ACB recently. Next, we've got EMC, all-out dump, bear, no support to be found, all-time lows. So this is an ideal scenario for the Bears and a worst-case scenario for the Bulls because we do not have support. And we need to be more cautious on any names that are hitting their all-time lows due to that lack of support. We can't just be looking for entries without the Bulls showing significant upside momentum. So we can be looking at a bounce attempt back here. There was some gains to the upside and getting in, waiting for some bull strength, missing the exact bottom. We're not trying to time the exact bottom, but getting in on the way up allows you to either put your stop loss at break even or only risk a small amount of capital. If you're trying to catch the bottom and you're just guessing on where to put a stop loss because there's no support, so the only thing you can be doing is guessing, then you're really at risk. So we had a clear break of 236, quick move down to 211, and you can see we're jumping 10% at a time. Due to the lack of support, the Bears are all over it. $2 psychological support is a level to watch. Looking for a bullish reversal candlestick after 6 red days in a row. No sign of the bulls anywhere. The red flag for the EMC bulls on the weekly time frame was when we hit the all-time high, we consolidated to form our low. We hit a lower high, and then as soon as we broke that low of consolidation of 350, that was the red flag for the bulls, and it's been nothing but a bear dump since then. No sign of the bulls. OWCP bullish start to today and erased very quickly. Big upper wick of profit taking. New resistance established at 151. Support is down at 126 and 115. Very tight range on the daily time frame. Bulls tried for a break, couldn't see any follow through. So we now have 155 and 151 resistances. And if we see a break of 115, the Bears will take control. Weekly time frame is pretty healthy consolidation at this point. You can see the inside candlestick showing that tightening range. And right now, that 115 and 155 range is the range to be watching. And if over the next 3 trading days we don't break either one of those levels, as we head into next week, we're going to be extremely tight. A break will be imminent, and it will be a really good trading opportunity. So OWCP, tight range, low volume, break imminent, but not there just yet. Patiently waiting for some clear direction in one direction or the other. And last, we got SPRWF. It is dumping as well. Lower highs and lower lows. Lowest price we've seen in over 3 months. We are oversold, but let's see down here, 89 cents. And here's a red flag as well. We have our high, our low of consolidation, lower high, and lower low. The trend is changing. We're not keeping a higher low pattern anymore. So the next support, I'm looking down. This level down here is 77 cents. Look at the volume. Excuse me, the big bear volume. And it's been all bear volume. Look at the last 5 weeks of volume. That is just straight up bears. Some of it is lower wicks with bulls buying the dip, but obviously it didn't do much to stem the big dump that has been occurring. So the Bears are in full control of the sector. If you are in long positions, you need to stop looking at the screen because you have your conviction, you have your game plan, and you're holding for multiple years. This action should not deter you from that game plan. You should have a stop loss on any position, any time frame, anywhere. So hopefully that is the case to minimize losses, and you can always get back in. It's not like you're going to get stopped out and 2 days later stock price is going to see 100% move and you're going to miss out. That's not going to happen. You can reassess the situation and make another entry. And otherwise, we're sitting cash and waiting for a bullish entry opportunity. And I am scouting weed tomorrow and 955 support. Would like to see a nice flush down to 960 first thing in the morning with that entry opportunity. So very cautious here. Bulls are nowhere to be found. Bears are in full control. And we can be scouting for potential reloading or longer term entries for those that missed the run to the upside and were patient enough to wait for consolidation. Congrats to that patience. But as of right now, bears are all over the market. And we're not seeing much bullish action. So I appreciate you watching. We'll check back in over the weekend, and I'll see you then.